Hello, everyone. We want to welcome you to our webinar. This webinar will be, I can get to the right screen here. This webinar, just to make sure you're on the right webinar that you register for, is Graduating Requirements and Summer Programs, the Success Tips. So my name is Dwight Benjamin. I am the Area 3 High School Resolution Specialist, and will also be your host on this conversation this afternoon. And I just want to welcome you to this opportunity to get this information, this pertinent information. And we have the individuals qualified to share some very good information with you. The session is being recorded live and will be made available on the Prince George's County School YouTube channel. And you'll be able to revisit and at a later time. The questions are, we have a Q&A session. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a Q&A opportunity there to submit your questions as they come up. They will be answered later in this segment by the individuals to address their respective information. So without any further ado, I want to introduce our panelists. We have Doreen Pettigrew and Andrea Lawson, who are the specialists from the Student Services Office, and they will be sharing some information with you later on. And we have Tamara Cease and Peon from the Area 3 office. Ann is the academic validation programmer, and Tamara is the online. I think you guys, are you able to, our panelists, are you able to open your video up?
No, sir.
No, unable to open the video. Do you have a line going through it?
No, it still says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it, but we can just speak through it. It's fine.
Okay. So, as I said, this is the second of a series of webinars that we've created. And the purpose of these webinars is to share some strategies and ideas that can help you to advocate for your child's academic success and offer some actionable insights that you can use. The objective of this particular webinar today is to share some common and critical things that parents are able to, parents need to be aware of in meeting the Maryland state requirements for high school diploma, review credit recovery, summer and online programs, and to discuss ways that parents may partner with their child's school in order to meet these requirements. So I have introduced our guests with you already. Of course, Andrea Carter, Counselor and Instructional Specialist, and Doreen Pettigrew. They will start the process with their information. And without any further ado, we want to turn it over to them at this time. If you could.
Sure. Good afternoon, parents. Again, my name is Doreen Pettigrew Hogans, and I'm here today with my partner, Andrea Carter Lawson, and we are specialists in the Office of School Counseling. And we thank you for taking some time out of your very busy schedules to join us this afternoon to hear about some incredibly important information in the life of your student and as it relates to graduation requirements. So we are going to start with just an overview of what the current graduation requirements are for our current seniors and actually for our high school students. Things will shift as we go, as your student goes throughout their high school career. And we will promise to keep you as updated and as informed as on the current graduation requirements, but just know that this is what is in place for our current seniors and for our current high school students. So if you click on the link, you will you are provided with an overview as far as what those specific graduation requirements look like. All students are required to have 21 credits in order to graduate to earn a Maryland high school diploma. And those 21 credits are divided up into the content area of English, math, science, social studies, fine arts, PE, health, technology, education, and a completer. In addition to the 21 credits, the students must have a number of service hours, and right now it's 24 service hours. And they also must successfully complete a assessment. And what those assessments looks like vary from academic year to academic year. Right now, with our current seniors, the state recently granted a waiver so that all students are exempt from passing the required high school assessment. They do have to sit for those exams, but they were exempt from passing the high school assessment. And they were also exempt from earning those mandatory service hours. And again, that exemption is in place for the class of 2021. The class of 2022 and beyond will still have to meet those assessment requirements in addition to the service learning requirements and the academic core content requirements. So we can just go back to that slide. All right, so again, service hours have been waived for current seniors for class of 2021 graduates only. All HSA, PARC, MISA assessments, and AVP projects have also been waived. Seniors do not have to pass these assessments. However, seniors must still take Algebra 1, English 10, and MISA. Seniors enrolled in Ellison Government do not have to take or pass the assessment. If your student, your current senior class of 2021 student, is enrolled in any type of CTE, career technology education program, they do not have to complete the required clock hours of theory for demonstration or practical application for your barbering program, for your nail technician program, and for your cosmetology program. Additionally, seniors CTE who are also in work study program, that work-based learning component has been waived. And again, all of this is for our current seniors. The requirements are going to look much different for any students who will graduate in 2022, 2023, and 2024.
Okay, we're going to take a few minutes to talk about the graduation notification agreement. Prior to the pandemic, this was a relatively easy task. Time consuming, yes, but it was much easier for the school counselor to meet one-on-one with their seniors within the school building. Typically, the school counselor and the student would sit together to review and discuss the content of the graduation notification agreement. At that time, the counselor would let the student know the courses that have been passed. They would look at their current schedule and talk about those courses that must still be passed this year in order to earn a Maryland diploma. They would review the service learning hour status as well as the testing status. However, last year, due to the pandemic, we created an electronic GNA document, which is directly connected to SchoolMax. Thus, your child's transcript and GNA should contain the same information, eliminating any possible human error. Depending on the school counselor's caseload and level of technology skills, there were basically two processes for completing and sharing the graduation notification agreement with their students this school year. Counselors with smaller caseloads, let's say some have 100 or 150 or so, may have scheduled a Zoom meeting with their seniors to review the GNA together. Ideally, they would have shared this GNA on their computer screens, and the student would have had the opportunity to ask clarifying questions at that time. However, for those school counselors who have very large caseloads, 300, 350 plus, and may not be as skilled with technology, they would have sent you an electronic GNA along with a Google Doc to assess you and your child's understanding of the document. The Google document basically asks the following 5 questions. 1, do you understand how many credits you currently have? 2, do you understand how many credits are still needed to graduate? 3, do you understand which courses you must pass this year in order to graduate? 4, do you understand how many service hours are still needed? 5, do you understand which assessments are still needed to graduate? And the final question is going to ask, if you need additional assistance to help clarify the contents of this document, please check yes, and your counselor will reach out to you directly. Additionally, parents are also sent a copy of this graduation notification agreement, so you too are aware of what's going on. So as stated in this slide, all seniors should have received their GNA during the fall of 2020. And all 10th and 11th grade students should have received their GNAs by this time this year. The graduation notification again identifies all credits earned to date and those courses still required to graduate. If you or your child has any questions regarding the courses needed to graduate, please have your child contact his or her school counselor as soon as possible.
So after you receive the graduation notification agreement, it's very important that you monitor grades throughout the school year. All students must earn a total of 240 points to pass a full year course and 120 points to pass a semester course for each year. It is crucial that you closely monitor these courses required for graduation, especially and know what is necessary to earn a passing grade for each course. The course progress reports are released every quarter, every 4 weeks, and every 9 weeks, the grades are reported in SchoolMax. And so if you're not registered on the family portal, we strongly encourage you to reach out to your child's school counselor or to your child's grade level administrator, and they will help you and give you assistance to sign up for the family portal where you will be able to monitor your child's grades.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tamara Cease, as Mr. Benjamin shared, and I serve within the Area 3 office as the online programs coordinator. Okay, so just as a quick overview of our summer program options that we have on the high school side of the house, our virtual summer learning program offers students an opportunity to earn both original and credit recovery credits towards graduation. The different graduation requirements that Ms. Hogan shared, this is an additional opportunity that we offer within the summer to allow students to participate in courses to earn these credits. Tentatively, as of right now, students will complete their summer courses in a virtual format. They must complete 100% of their course online while receiving regular instruction from a certified teacher. Our courses this summer are only for students who are currently enrolled in Prince George's County Public Schools. We are only servicing rising 10th, 11th, and 12th graders and our 9th grade repeaters. We will not be servicing any rising 9th graders or any students outside of our district. For this particular summer right now, tentatively, there will be no cost for registration. And students are definitely eligible to participate in our program in 1 or 2 different models. You can keep going, thank you. So we have 2 different summer sessions that we are offering our students this summer. The first one will begin between May 24th and June 14th. This is what we are considering to be session 1. Our last day for our current seniors right now is May 14th, I'm sorry. And between that time and when our traditional summer school session begins, there's a pretty large window, if you will, where a senior can participate in courses. So what we have created is a session only catering to our current 12th grade students. Tentatively right now, this session will be virtual, and these students will be receiving instructional support from their base school in 2 different formats. They will be able to receive instructional support from our EOP teachers if they are earning credits during the day, as well as our evening teachers if they are earning credits in the evening. So with that said, in this particular session, we'll be offering courses in 2 different formats, in the day and in the evening. This day and evening format will mirror itself for session 2, which will be open to all grades 9 through 12 from July 6th through July 30th. Again, this is scheduled to be tentatively virtual, and this time frame will happen anywhere between 8:30 and 12 during the day, and 4:30 to about 9 p.m. for our evening students. Again, these students will be receiving instructional support from a certified teacher. Again, these 2 different sessions look a little different, and another one of my colleagues will speak to the different course offerings and the different versions of those courses and how they will be offered. However, we have 2 sessions for summer, session 1 and 2. Session 1 only for our current 12th grade students, session 2 open to 9 and 12. There are 2 different instructional models when students are registering for summer. The first one is utilizing our online vendor, Agenuity. This is how we offer credit recovery and original credit courses virtually throughout the year. And in this particular format, these are asynchronous courses where a student is expected to complete 100% of their course online. And while they are working through their course, they are receiving instructional support from a certified teacher. The interesting component about our Agenuity courses is that students have to actively participate in these courses every single day in order to complete their assignments on time. What will happen is once a student is registered in that Agenuity course, they'll receive a start and a target date. Once they receive these 2 different dates, each day their assignments are cascaded throughout the calendar. So a student will know the number of assignments they need to complete each day in order to stay on track. Again, students have to complete 100% of this respective course, earning a passing grade of a 60% or higher. The other instructional model that we offer, we term it under, you can keep going, Dwight. We classify it under Google Classroom, where in Agenuity, it's an asynchronous format. With the Google Classroom, this is a synchronous format. In this particular format, the student is receiving direct instruction every day throughout the week. Remember, in this particular format, our time frame of summer school are operating about 4 weeks. Therefore, the student has to be in class every single day in order to receive this instruction from their teacher. Tentatively right now, the session is an hour per day, Monday through Friday, but the students who are participating in these versions of courses will receive additional communication from their teacher. Again, these are the 2 different instructional models that we'll be offering this summer. And you're muted. It's okay.
Thank you. So we have 2 types of courses that we're offering in the summer. First is our original credit. What is original credit? It's an opportunity to earn initial course credit to accelerate, advance towards graduation requirements. This is a course that does not appear on the student's transcript. That means they're taking it for the first time in their high school career. So pretty much who can register for original credit courses. Graduating seniors who need an original credit course for graduation. Early graduating seniors with district level approval may register for original credit. Also students who need to get back on track with their cohort. Our second type of courses is our credit recovery. And what is credit recovery? Students who have failed a course required towards graduation. This failed credit attempt appears on the transcript. So they have already taken it already and it's already listed on their transcript. Students who wish to improve or earn a higher grade of a previous past course listed on their transcript. So with those types, and with the two models that Ms. Cease has mentioned, during our session 1, which is offered to our current 12th grade students, we have our Agenuity blended learning courses, which is our 4 Englishes from English 9 through 12. We have biology, chemistry, biogeochem, earth and space science, environmental science, psychology, LSN government, US history, world history, and health. We also have our fine arts, art history, our algebra 1 and 2, geometry, quantitative modeling, and pre-calculus. Now, there are some acronyms there. There's CR that was previously shown, that's credit recovery, and OC is original credit. So if there's any type of indication where it says CR or OC, that's what we're offering only for those courses during that session. Students are able to take up to 1 course per program, a maximum of 2 during the session. So if they need 2 courses during the session, they can only take 1 during the day and 1 during the evening. We also have our Google Classroom courses, which is limited right now. And you'll see when I show you the session 2, right now it will be only the completer, Spanish 1, French 1, and CCRD 1. In session 2, there are more courses available, and this is offered to 9th through 12th graders, current 9th grade to 12th graders. As you can see, there are more Google Classroom courses. We have applications of algebra, English ESOL newcomers, beginners, and we also have our foundations of technology, personal fitness, and we are also offering the other part of the completer, Spanish 2, French 2, CCRD 2. LSN, we are also giving an original credit under Google Classroom. Agenuity courses are pretty much the same as session 1. And then the same thing with the acronyms, with the CR and the OC, those we are offering for those courses only. And then the students could also take 2 courses in this session, 1 during the day and 1 during the evening. And any courses that are in orange, which is like CCRD2 and LSN government, is only going to be offered to graduating seniors only.
Okay, now that we've talked about what you can take when our summer program courses will be offered, let's talk about student expectations. For summer school, the virtual summer school program, all students are expected to attend class virtually each day. Students will be required to complete assignments outside of their regular class time in order to finish the program. Students that are in the program are required to have a working electronic device, and you also have to have access to internet at home. So if you do not have these devices, please work with your student's base school to secure a Chromebook and possibly access to a mobile hotspot, so that you're able to access the courses during the summer in order to complete the work that's required. Students must also maintain a notebook to take notes during the course, as well as to complete their assignments that they need to do over the summer. They have to establish a daily routine so that they're able to complete the work that is going to be cascaded on the calendar that is provided to them by their teacher or the Ingenuity platform. They should identify a space at home where they'll be able to get their work done. And they have to regularly check in Google Classroom or on their platform that the teacher is using, as well as have access to their PG County email address for updates that may be provided on a daily basis. Students and parents should communicate with their teacher if they do not have the resources that are necessary to participate in the distance learning program. We also want students to submit their assignments on time, and also make sure that they are good digital citizens so that they can successfully complete the program. As a recap, some important dates. Session 1, registration will begin this upcoming Monday, April the 19th, and will go until May the 3rd. The program for session 1, which is open only to current 12th grade students in Prince George's County Public Schools, will run from May 24th to June 14th. There is a day session and an evening session. And remember, students can take a maximum of 1 course during the day and 1 course in the evening for a total of maximum of 2 credits. Session 2 Registration will begin on May the 4th and end on June 4th. The program will run from July 6th to July 30th. That program for session 2 is available to any Prince George's County Public School student who is currently enrolled in grades 9 through 12 only. Again, there will be a day session and an evening session, and students will be able to earn up to 2 classes or 2 credits for a total of 4 credits maximum if they're a senior, or up to 2 credits maximum if they're in grades 9 through 11. So once again, if they are a senior in Prince George's County Public Schools currently, they can earn up to 4 credits this summer. If they are in grades 9 through 11, they can earn a maximum of 2 credits this summer. So the registration process, again, everything is tentative. Parents and students should communicate with their professional school counselor at this time about the courses that the child will need to register for in order to minimize registration errors. There's a link that is hyperlinked into this presentation, and it will also be on the county website and in the summer school brochure that is available online. You will go to the registration link and you would go ahead and register for the course or courses that you have discussed with your child's professional school counselor. Once the parent and student have gone into the registration system and registered, the professional school counselor at that child's base school will receive an alert, and they will approve the registration course or courses that you have put in. If the course is acceptable, then the course will be entered into SchoolMax by a member of the scheduling team, and you will be notified by email of your registration being accepted. If the course, for some odd reason, is the wrong course, you entered into the wrong course title or course number, the professional school counsel will reject the request and provide a reason as to why the registration was rejected. The student and parent will have an opportunity to make a correction to the registration, and then it will move forward for scheduling. We are asking that parents, if you are not already connected to the family portal, that you connect yourself with the family portal so that you can get email alerts about all of the summer school registration processes, as well as make sure that your child is familiar with their PG County email address and login credentials so they too can get the alerts and the information that will be needed during the summer school registration process. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Benjamin, but I would strongly suggest that if you have questions or concerns, your first line of defense will be to contact your child's professional school counselor for information about what your child needs to take and how to go about the registration process. Thank you.
Awesome. That is great. Well, listen, we really appreciate that. We want to take a moment to review some of the questions that were previously submitted. I believe this initial question was for the, we're going to come off the shared screen for a moment so that everyone can be able to respond to the questions and so forth. So this question that came up, and this may be addressed to the initial presenters. Can the course claim computer software as a technology education credit? Is that something Doreen or Andrea?
Yes, that is, I believe that is not a technology education credit, but if Ms. Saunders, if you place your email in the chat, I want to check our administrative procedure just to make sure, and I will email it back to you. But as far as I know, computer software is not a technology education requirement. I mean, credit.
Okay, great. So another question that came in, and you can, for the panelists, you can click on the Q&A there, and if you need to put a typed in response there so that the recipient can get it, that'd be great. Another question is, what is the Pgcps Google Classroom code?
So once the child registers
Oh, sorry.
course, Yeah, once the student, I believe this is what they're asking. Once the student registered for a class that will be offered in a Google Classroom format, the teacher will provide that student by way of their PG County email address of the login information that they need to access the course. So that takes place right before courses start, once the students are actually registered for the class. They don't need the code ahead of time.
Great, thank you for that. Another question is there a list of acceptable organizations for service learning hours?
Service learning hours can be earned through a non-profit organization. And so there is a form that you should present to your service learning coordinator. That may be your school counselor, or it may be an administrator in the building, for approval to earn those service learning hours from that organization. So you submit that form, and then they will verify that that agency is able to reward service learning hours, and then you're good to go.
Right, great, thank you, Ms. Hogan, for that. Another question is, what is the rationale for limiting 9th to 11th graders only 2 credits during the summer sessions?
Well, for one, the first session, again, is solely for seniors, mainly just because our underclassmen are still in school. With summer session 2, our Agenuity asynchronous courses are not easy. And our previous online vendors, we may be able to offer more courses. But with our current platform and the incredible job that our curriculum and instruction content specialists have done in aligning our scope and sequence to the Agenuity content, a student honestly is going to have their work cut out for them. That's honestly the reality of it. And we're talking about a full year course in 4 weeks. So being able to offer a course during the day and one in the evening is an opportunity we are definitely extending through our 9th through 11th graders. However, it is definitely going to be a lot of work. So it's not necessarily limiting them. It's more so just creating an opportunity for them to be successful, because we learned through last summer, anything more than 2 is a stretch.
Great, thank you for that.
I can do the next one as well. Is Agenuity program asynchronous only, monitored by the completion of assignments? So yes, it is an asynchronous program. However, when students are participating in these asynchronous courses, as they're receiving instructional support from a content teacher, the bulk of their work, although it's an Agenuity, they will still be required to connect with their teacher. As they're moving through their course, if they are struggling with a particular skill or unit or concept, that teacher is able to provide blended learning instruction to help them be more successful in the completion of those assignments. But essentially that format itself is definitely asynchronous.
Great, thank you for that. There's another question here. It says the MISA Algebra 1 English 10 assessments have been waived for current seniors, but according to your PowerPoint slide, it stated current seniors must still take the MISA English 10 and Algebra 1 assessment. Information is confusing. Can you please clarify that?
Sorry, it should say that they are sitting for that exam. Okay, I'm sorry, Andre is back on. Go ahead.
Please repeat the question for me, please.
So it says the MISA Algebra 1 English 10 assessments have been waived for current seniors, but according to the PowerPoint slide, it stated current seniors must still take the MISA English 10 and Algebra 1 assessment.
They have to take it, but they don't have to pass it. They have to still sit down and actually take the assessment. They just don't have to pass it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. So we don't have any new questions, but what I want to do, since we do still have...
Actually, Mr. Benjamin, we do. There is one in the chat. I can answer this one. It says, are these sessions taught live or are they pre-recorded?
Okay.
I can go ahead and tackle that one. It's honestly going to be a little bit of both. For our Agenuity courses, in their respective courses, there are pre-recorded lessons that the student will have to engage in. However, the student is also receiving live instructional support from their teacher. In our current instructional model, in the schedule that we have placed, 2 days out of the week, they will be receiving direct instruction from their teacher. So in that regard, it will be live. So for the Agenuity side of the house, the sessions will be both. On the Google Classroom side of the house, those lessons will be taught live every day. Those will not have any pre-recorded videos to take the place of that instruction.
Okay. Great, thank you for that. So another one popped up. Will they be required to pass MISA in the future, and when?
We will receive additional guidance as far as testing requirements for next year and onward at the beginning of the school year.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Can you ask how will they go about 11th grade test requirements and SAT?
So again, we will receive additional guidance as far as what testing looks like for the class of 2022. As far as the SAT is concerned, the current juniors should be in communication with their professional school counselor to talk about what those SAT registration dates are and what they look like for June and for going forward for next year as well. So I know the College Board has released information as far as what registration looks like and what test administration will be for the end of this year and for next year. And so their school counselor has that information. And if you're not able to get in contact with your school counselor, you can always reach out to Andrea or myself, and we will be more than happy to assist you.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So some of the previous questions that were answered, I'm just going to review a few of them. Can the course claim computer software as a technology education credit? There was a response made to that. If you have any additional information or additional questions about that, you can provide your email to Doreen Pettigrew Hogan, and she will send you a response to that. Another question was, what is the benefit to students who complete the virtual summer learning for original credit? The answer to that question was it depends on the need. The student may want to take an elective course and a course of interest. You speak with your student's counselor on options available based on the specific need. The question here is, that was typed in, for summer learning program, can a rising 12th grader take a course class such as 12th grade English if interested? The answer is no. Per our administrative procedures, students must participate in 4 years of English. Another question is, what is the Prince George County Public School Google? Well, someone did respond to that. I apologize for that. A written response here: can students take a summer class to fulfill a credit? Example, a fine art credit, so they don't have to take it. So they don't have to take it for a class next year. And that answer was yes. Another written response here: if I am an IB student, can I take summer classes for enrichment purposes to enhance my transcript for future college applications? Absolutely, was the response for that. Another written response: can a student take a financial literacy over the summer? The answer is yes. We're offering financial literacy during session number 2. And let's see, are there any others that was written in? Are the classes without OC or CR behind it offered for both? And the answer is yes for that as well. All right. Let's see. another written response, will financial literacy be on Agenuity? The answer is yes, offered in session number 2. And panelists, if I overlooked anything, certainly you can dive in there and let me know. But I think we covered the written responses to the question as well as the verbal responses to questions. Wait a minute, I think I see another one that came in. Where can we find the list for the available classes? Contact your child's professional school counselor or your professional school for the SS21 flyer, courses and registration link. Registration opens on Monday for seniors, May 4th for grades 9 through 12. It's another question that came in, and I thank the panelists. They are on top of these questions and getting written responses. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, this segment is being recorded, and you can access it and get the information again if you need to. But this question is, once registration opens on Monday, where can we find the link? The response to that question is contact your child's professional school counselor for the SS21 flyer, courses and registration link. Registration opens on Monday for seniors, and again, May 4th for grades 9 through 12. So, colleagues, unless I overlook something, I'm not sure whether this question was read and responded to. If you retake a class in summer school, does it change your grade on your transcript and overall GPA? Someone want to take that on?
I can answer that. Any course that you take for credit will be listed on your transcript. The credit value from the course that has the lowest grade will have a 0 value and it'll be excluded from your GPA. And the GPA will be recalculated based on only the highest grade earned for the course taken. But the course is not eliminated. It will be listed on your transcript. It's only that your GPA will be impacted one time for the course that you receive the highest final grade for.
Okay, thank you for that. So there was a question that was up, I think that was answered there. Another one, will the presentation slides be provided to principals? That's up to you all to make that decision there, if that's possible. It looked like Carla is giving an affirmative answer and Tamara's giving an affirmative answer on that. So if Andrea and Doreen, if you're all okay with that, we will make them available to the principals as well.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. I think there was one other question that came through that someone responded to. Well, I think it was handled. I don't see it anymore. I think we have, we've responded to all the questions here. So we want to thank the attendees for joining us today. We had quite a few folks joining us today, and I want to thank the panelists also for taking time out to respond to this critical information here. Certainly it's important that parents are inspecting what they expect in terms of what it takes for students to graduate and what the Maryland State requirements are. And certainly with the demands that we had this past summer for summer programs, it appears that it's going to be somewhere in the same neighborhood of demand for this year. So that information was very helpful as well. So we want to thank you all for that. Panelists, do you have any closing remarks? We're doing good with time, but if you have any closing remarks, any other ideas or things that you may want to share before we conclude this process? All hearts and minds are clear? Okay, wonderful, great. Well, we want to thank you all again for sharing with us today, the panelists as well as the attendees. And keep an eye on the website for where this information will be found. It will be in one of the in the Prince George's YouTube channel once it's determined we probably end up creating a category for Area 3 office. So if you went to go to the county's website for the YouTube channel, look under, and it's not there yet, but you should be able to look under the Area 3 webinars, and you will see a placeholder there for all the webinars that the Area 3 office is providing with secondary school information. So again, thank you all so much. And we will have a next webinar on next Wednesday at the same time at 3 o'clock. If you want to join us for that as well, you can look on the PGCPS calendar for next Wednesday. That would be the I'm sorry, not next Wednesday, be Thursday, the 22nd of April at 3 o'clock also. Very critical one. In fact, we have a high number of registrants for that already. We have guests from the Johns Hopkins University is going to be joining us for that. We'll be discussing chronic absenteeism, how we can reduce chronic absenteeism. So you are welcome, Mr. Parker. Responding to one of his questions there, you are certainly welcome. So again, this information will be made available to you, and thank you all so much again. Thank you, panelists. You all were absolutely fantastic, and we will see you soon. Thank you much.
Thank you for the invite, Mr. Benjamin. Take care.
You're so welcome. Thank you as well.